hard not to watch and not get excited. Like watching you guys
And
out
they're
there.
like, oh, I wanna.
Excited.
Trust me.
Yeah.
It's a thrill. I look at it like Esther.
It's an
Like,
experience.
I don't know
right?
if this is gonna be on the episode or whatever. Like or whatever the fuck. But anyway, I look at it like I always say this to everybody. Sequester for me, like I don't know, 2500 isn't life changing. It isn't like a big life changing game. I love these games. Like I got found, like Audrey found me to play Sequester because I was a big Survivor and Challenge fan. But I'm from the streets. I never even did this online shit, and then I got casted for season 3 from my Survivor audition tape. And once she casted me, it turned me out. Like I just fell in love with the minis, the orgs, all this shit. And I was like, yo, I love Survivor. That's what I really want to play. But I look at it like Sequester's super fast. It's so fast, yo. And 5 days, you really can't tell who's playing what. Just like in the minis, you can't really like you. Both of you guys won a mini, and you can't even tell who's doing what in their mini because you're so worried about what you're doing. Imagine doing it for 5 days. So that's why I always go for bold, because 2500 is not really going to change your life. So that's how I look at it. I can be wrong, obviously, but I don't know. It's a game. I really do.
I see what your point is because, like, I guess we'll go ahead and start. Hi, everyone. You're interviewing with Jay West. Thank you for being with us.
It's Podquester time now. It is Podquester time.
I guess, like, I think about, the investment in time and energy and stuff and how hard that is. But there are so many great experiences out there, and playing a game is kind of like that. Like there's a lot of energy and stuff that goes into climbing a mountain or it's that kind of thing, pushing your limits, seeing what you can do and enjoying the experience. And you're just investing in that kind of experience. And it's something you definitely will remember.
Yeah, you definitely will. You will. PTSD for me.
Well, since you started talking about your mindset, let's go there first. How was your mindset different going into this game than the last game?
Well, I talked to Suzi coming into the game, but I honestly didn't have, like, in my mind, season 3, I felt like that was my season to lose. Everyone felt like when you play a game, you can win it, right? And I played season 3, and I lost that game. I had an LOS. I blamed somebody to get somebody out, and it worked. Everyone thought Matt had it, so they split the votes, and he ended up getting voted out. I wasted my LOS, but in my head, I was like, hey, I played okay socially. The camera didn't see that. I'm a social guy. People love me. So I'm going to bring that to the second time. And I had a second chance, and I did the same shit. So I didn't really. It's because, like, going into that house, like, this season, I came in alone, and I felt like, you guys had the numbers, and I'm somebody that shouldn't have been that scared again 2 times in a row. Like, I wanted to at least. I thought Audrey was lying to me, man. I really felt like I was like, am I playing? Like, she was like, yeah, you're playing. You're the only returnee. And I'm like, no way. Like, I can't be the only returnee. Like, that's bullshit. Like, but I was so thrilled and happy and honored because I felt like I still had so much game to prove to people. But it was just like, I troll you guys. Y'all see it in y'all minis, like during y'all minis, I'm just talking shit like, get his ass out. So when you cast like 12 mini players and I'm on your intros of all the minis, like saying, let's go, they're gonna be like, there's Jay West. And I'm somebody that like the power trip. I like to have control of a round at least, so I can say that was my round. I orchestrated that blind shot. I put that alliance together. Like, I put that 6 together. You know what I mean? That's shit I can say. I wanted to go to XL. These are power moves in my head because Sequester's so fast. And only people that really get rewarded is in my eyes is bold. You know what I mean? You got to have a voice. I mean, unless you two strategic players sitting next to each other.
Yeah.
And you talk about like, hearing you watching the mini. Did you know about some of the relationships? Like once you were in there, and like were you aware from the minis of some of these relationships?
Well, honestly, I only knew the winners because like I watched the minis with back then I watched a lot of the minis with my season 3 cast together because we were all still obsessed with Sequester. Like once the game is over, we still like have love for the game. We want to play. And I don't know, we just watched the minis and I knew Brendan from him and his brother. I thought he was super entertaining and he played in like a Sequester dating thing with MP. So his face is memorable to me. Muna and Jacob Jones, we actually all followed each other, and Katie, we all followed each other. So them 4, they all won, and I knew them, and I'm like, all right, like I felt somewhat safe. But a lot of the other people, I really didn't know, but they all said they played the mini. So in my head, I'm thinking it's a bunch of winners. Like it's just a shit ton of winners, and I'm the only live player. So in my head, I gotta put fear in their heart again. I didn't want to play like that a second time, but I really, because I'm a social player, but I just really wanted to have control. But I was so scared, man. Like it was just like walking in that doors and seeing that I'm the only one. I was thankful to see Brent, but that ain't somebody I want to play with. I don't want to play with fucking Brent. No shade. I love Brent to death. It's just that like he trolled us last season. He trolled season 3 bad last season. So I wanted to like be the one to like, get him out. And look what he did. He flipped his vote on me to round 1. And that was huge. That was so huge. Like, so I was blindsided by that. I like we was all on board to vote Josh, which I wasn't okay with because that was somebody I needed. He was on the bottom. I was on the bottom. And I wanted to play with like people who was willing to give me a chance. He even talked to me and said, Jay West, I'm happy that you got the second chance. I'm like, thanks, bro, because I really want to play with people that really want to give me a chance. But I wanted to play like with the meat shields, like the big names. I need them around me because I'm a big name. And I get exiled. And I'm fine with it because I feel like I can survive. But it's just like, damn, Katie, she's so tough. She just wanna like keep fighting, and I love that about her. But that's why I couldn't vote for her. You know what I mean? Like in the exile rounds when she called me out, I look at her like even when Muna called me out, I look at her like I'm okay with like me and Suzi played a game recently. I look at it like that's a respect. Like it's part of the game. You're gonna have like bump heads at least once, but at the end of the day, like I respect the game. But Josh, in my eyes, he didn't do that. His way is like he knew the votes was going on him, so he just looked for LOS. And I wanted to play with him, but it's like you're okay with getting voted out, bro. So it's like fuck it, I can't. I didn't know he had that conversation with Brent because if he did, I would have listened to Brent. I'm like, look, me and you can vote Katie. Katie's still not gonna get voted out. Because I'm the one that wanted Katie in exile. I was so vocal about it because Katie called me out. So if she would have got voted out for sure first, she would have dragged my ass. So I would have still voted for Katie. Josh would have got voted out, and I would expose my vote because I told him I was going to vote for Katie. But it was Brent. It was an all Brent move, and I applaud it. I applaud it because I respect the game. It's just it sucks because I just watched Brent's podcast with Taryn like today, and he was saying like how he didn't have anyone to play with. Only person he knew coming into the house was Spencer. I'm like, bro, I didn't have anyone. All you guys knew is my reputation. And it sucks more and more and more I watch it because it's like I had to play alone. And it's like when I play a mini, back in the day before all the mini players played live, that was the thing. You know. So it's just like it sucked. But I love the game. I love the outcome. I feel like I don't know. I don't know.
You feel like the players gave you that chance to kind of open up.
Yeah, they did though. Like that's the thing. It's just that I that was me 100%. Like I definitely did come off super aggressive after watching it like so many times. It's just like Josh, man, like you like in the house, bro. You really checked out. Like you was in your head. He knows that he wanted to. Like he knew he was getting voted out, and he didn't even really talk to people as much. And if he would have, I would have been like, "Listen, I'm down," because Katie knows that she's an exile because of me. But she called me out in front of everybody, like, "Jay West, are you in here? Did you want to play with me?" And I'm like, "Look, she fighting. I respect it. I'm down to go head up with her during the rest of the season because that's the type of game I'm playing. I feel like we can put that to the side a couple of rounds, and now that we're so vocal, that's something in our back pocket for like, say we both get to the end. That's like, you know, we had a target on our back. We can say whatever, you know what I mean? But Josh beating me and getting back under the radar is great to watch, but that's my seat. And I would have been like, yo, I would have had that LOS. I would have blew shit up with it. You know what I mean? It's just fun shit I would have did, but you only one can win, right? So it's just.
Did that shit talking get in your head? He was talking the hell out of some.
That's it. So like for 1000%, I talk trash, but he got in my head for sure, because like I talk trash like it, like, all right, so I talk trash for confidence, to build my own confidence. But if it's fucking your game up, it's a bonus too, you know what I mean? But his shit talking isn't like trash talking. It's like, hey, I'm in your face, yada yada yada. So he's basically like, what kind of sound? I'm like, what are you talking about? Shut up. You're not
Like
even
the
doing
lack
it
of
right.
logic.
You're not even doing it right.
Yeah, I had to throw out all my sandwich questions. I made sure to get rid of those early, you know.
Yeah, that was so. I mean, it was weird for us to watch. I could not imagine like being in it. You're like, what? You're not talking shit about me. You're asking my like favorite.
Right. I'm like, what are you doing? Why? Like,
you're like, I'm sorry. Is there a sandwich involved in this? I'm like.
Maybe that's how
That
you do
was
it.
in my head.
You get so into their head by just asking them basic questions like, what toothpaste do you use? What's the vacuum brand? Just really get into their head.
Yeah, because like shit talking is all adrenaline, right? Like
yeah.
when like you and I are both shit talkers, as we saw when we played a game together. We will talk the hell out of something, and I think that that's all adrenaline, where you're just saying whatever comes to the top of your head. But when they make you pause and think, you're like, I'm not in that place right now. So that was really weird to watch. I cannot. Oh my god, I think it would have definitely fucked me up too.
In the max pick, what was going through your head when Katie? Did you think that Katie got Josh to flip? Like when you before he like obviously picked you? Like what were your thoughts going when she started to articulate or argue back with him?
Man, like, so I didn't. It was a blindside because like first I said like I still say to Josh to this day, I'm like, why didn't you go that way first? Like, start from, why didn't you ask Katie, then Brent, then me? Because you asked me first, then you asked Brent, then you asked Katie, right? So you like, Jay West, who'd you vote for? I'm like, Josh, I voted for you, bro. And like, I should have just said I voted for you. Strictly, shut up there. And whatever I said, he didn't like bite at. And it was kind of aggressive that I came off, and I'm like, oh shit, he's scared. He don't want to battle me. So now I'm looking at it like I'm here to play, y'all. This is Jay West from season 3. I really don't give a fuck. Y'all know that. So that I talked so much shit, I thought he just fell back. But I should have remembered that he was looking for LOSs blatantly in front of everybody. He got exiled first. Like, Josh don't care. He's on the bottom. He had anything to lose. So I should have just thought about that. And I don't know. Once Katie did the smartest thing possible by coming at me, you know what I mean? She was pissed at Brent, but she still put her anger towards me. That was so smart. So I couldn't even like say too much because everything she said was truth. Like, you know what I mean? It was the truth. She was like, this guy said he was going to vote for you and he voted for me, or whatever the hell she said. I'm just like, God damn it. Like, I didn't know what to say because it's like, for me, I'm very confident in anything I do, right? Like puzzles, I swear to God, I almost beat him. And last season in that dodgeball shit, I almost beat Kevin. I stepped out of bounds. It's just like, I love to compete. I'm a competitor. But at the end of the day, in this game, you have to try to, like, when your votes are exposed, you got to do what you have to do not to go into a battle. But I'm somebody to look at it like resume move. You know what I mean? Especially with us having a battle back this season. Like, I already knew that it was a battle back. So at the end of the day, I'm just like, yo, that's a second chance. Just like last season when I played, I'm like, look, Sequester, when you lose, if you lose in the pre-jury phase, we knew coming into the game that it's a battle back. So I'm like, look, that's at least, you know, I can get some jury creds. You know, at least they'll actually get to know Jay West. Or, you know, they'll get to know me. And I had that opportunity to compete again. You know what I mean? But I was just so mad at Katie because I wish she would have just went after that puzzle because we actually spent time together in the jury house and she smoked my ass, smoked Josh time. Like she's so beast at that puzzle. Just played with that puzzle all day.
Oh, y'all got to do the puzzle again, and Katie did well.
Yeah, because me and Josh, it took us about like 30 minutes, like dead ass, and Katie did it in 15 minutes. Like she came to the jury house and did it in 15 minutes. I'm like, girl. That was your fucking challenge, and my challenge was what you fucking did with Natalie. That was my challenge. I love basketball, beer pong, and all that shit.
Yeah, that's true. She was very specific that was going to be her bad challenge, was throwing things, and then that's so sad that y'all got mixed up. But I don't know. It was hard to watch because it did feel like for a minute you were gonna get out of it, and then he just. It's like I think that instead of it could be easily read as being submissive, the quietness that he has, but instead he's just rearing up, right? Instead, and like just a misread of what that is what happened for you. And that
for sure. That's exactly what it was, a misread. Like because like I told you in the beginning of all this, I said I knew Brendan. And I knew of Brendan, I knew of Muna, and I knew of Jacob, and I knew of Katie, right? And all four of them won. So in my head, it's everyone won. Like, because I didn't know everybody. The crazy thing is, I played in the mini with Rachel, right? And we both played 821. I didn't even recognize her in the house. Like we always she always busts my balls about that till this day. And I was 5th place in that mini. Well, I'll end up making it to Final 5. She was Final 4. And that's the crazy shit. You know what I mean? It's because for like you guys, like I said, you play a mini and you're in your own room. You're in your own zone. You're just playing. And she was playing great in her mini. I remember she was like saving people left and right with her LOS, saving girls. And I'm like busting her balls all the time. Like every time I come in the room, like, yo, you're not even looking at me. You're looking for LOSs again. Get the hell out of here, Rachel. Like just fucking with her. But when we in the house, I didn't even know it was her. I didn't even know it was her. Like, also, I was just like so thrown off because it just, I don't know. She was different. I don't know.
No, I mean, like, it's really different to see people in person than you see them online. I don't know if I would recognize a lot of people.
But to even say that, to like, I just thought Rachel was another winner. You know what I mean? I thought everyone was a great winner. When I got casted, and then I'm like, bunch of winners, a Survivor player, a Rap podcast player, and a returnee. So I looked at it like that, and then I said, "Yo, guys," I even talked to Brent and Shireen and said, "Yo, we're the outskirts." And even when me and Brent was in exile, I told him, I said, "Yo, I want to play with you, just like you know that." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm down." And before I even went to exile, I gave Shireen safety because that was the only person I really felt comfortable like putting bugs in her ear, and she can throw the same thing back to me. And I'm like, yo, everything that I said to her kind of makes sense now from watching the season. But it's just like, obviously, Moon is going to get information, right? Like, but for real, like she was on board for doing like Katie. You know what I mean? She didn't want to do Muna, like, and I didn't want to do Muna. I'm just somebody for power. I came in the house. I see Muna, I see Jacob. I didn't want to go for them. I wanted the meat chills, right? But if I'm like comfortable with somebody, I want to talk game with somebody. Like, you know what I mean? I just like, yo, it's pairs in the house. Everybody's saying they want to go for Josh. He got the LOS. So what to do next if Josh got the LOS? They asking me because I played before. That's what really was happening. It was asking Jay West. I played before. So I said the dumbest shit ever. I just said it's pairs in the house. And people said, what pairs? I said, Moon and Jacob are pairs. And the people who I didn't talk to was Marcelo and Katie. So I just paired them together strictly because I didn't talk to them. And
okay. That was going to be my next question is like, you were really like, and then fucking Marcelo. And I was like, we did not see a lot of motivation for Jacob.
I had to do the Marcelo and Katie thing because Marcelo, he got exiled. I mean, he got a safety first, right? And it was no way he was going to exile me because he already exiled Josh. So I can just pair him together like that. And Katie, she was connected to literally everybody, just like Muna was. So I'm like, if Muna came to me with some information that I actually said, that's why I was like, yo, that's not I mean, it's not a lie. That's why I said name two people. Name two people, Muna, like, because it was probably Shireen or that told you. You know what I mean? Because I'm coming for anybody. I'm coming for blood, straight up. Like I really want to play, but at the end of the day, like I didn't want to go after Muna early. I just really wanted to let people know that like if Josh is somebody that has the LOS, we got to split up some clear pairs. Marcelo, he got safety first, so Muna came to me with the idea like, hey, Jay West, you saying my name, yada yada yada, and I'm like, all right, well, I don't want to come after you, but if you want to play with me, I'm going to be in exile now. Shit, I already got exiled by Billy. So either I can give safety to Shireen. Well, I was really going to give it to Spencer. But y'all remember seeing me say that. I'm like, Spencer, I'm giving you safety. I was going to give safety to Spencer. That was my boy in the house. And if I'd have gave safety to Spencer, maybe he would have, like looking at the season now, maybe he would have fucking put Muna in exile. We would have been partying together in exile. But you know, I didn't want, like I said, I did not want Muna in exile. I did not want to go after Muna. I didn't want to go after Jacob. I just wanted to split up some pairs now. And Katie was somebody I didn't talk to the first day. So it was just so easy for me. And look at me. If Katie would have went up versus Josh, whose move is that? Whose move is that? Because I wanted her in exile. She went to exile and bam. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
so you were already thinking about your resume going into the game.
That's how I play. Only reason I play like that because I know, say us three playing together, right? I know you're going to make a move, and I know you're going to make a move. So I just gotta put my move next to the people who's making moves, right? And once I do that, we can align. Don't go after me because Jay West is such a threat. Don't do that. I'm like, yo, calm down. Like last season when I played, Drew was the first person that had a battle. But what he didn't know was I was very aware of what was going on because I had the LOS already first. And I looked at it like Tori and Kimberly, they both fucking survived the split vote. So I paired myself to Tori in my head. I said, look, Tori's my girl. I even told Tori about my LOS, and she lied for me to Drew, saying I had this bottle cap shit. But I looked at Drew like, bro, you're on our side now. You got to win. You got a resume win. But he's telling everybody I got this LOS. He think he's seen. He's throwing me at the bus. I'm like, bro, us big names, we all doing shit right now. You know what I mean? We got to play together. Let's just, you know what I'm saying?
It's like, hard. I do know what it's like to.
It's so fast.
Like,
you don't
like,
get that conversation.
We have to play together to get either of us to the end and not being able to have them see the long game.
Yeah.
It's hard too. Like in a lot of games, sometimes you're making in your head. You're like, this is the move they're gonna make. Like you're making predictions of what they're gonna do, and then you're trying to counter the predictions that you made, and they may not even be going in the direction that you think they're gonna go in.
1000%. It's like a live chess. Like seriously, like you really gotta be super strategic when you play this game. And for me, it's always my downfall because my mouth. Like I have to once I talk so much shit, people like, hey, you said it. Now you gotta back it up. And it's just like I'm down to battle. Like I'm okay with battling. And it's always because, spoiler alert, it's the pre-jury phase of the game. Like I don't care, strictly because I know it's gonna be a battle back. Like you know what I mean? Like I know that. Like I'm ready. If I lose, guess what? I have a fucking second chance in this battle back. And I'm always confident. But maybe I should just turn it down. If it's maybe again. But you know what I mean? It's just I love this game and I love to compete. I know it's ways to get to the end, but like Brent said in his podcast, that's not me. I don't want to be pissed off. Like I watch Suzi and fucking Louis talk. I watch both of y'all talk about me in my podcast. And Suzi said, you said it spot on. You was like, if Jay West wins, he'll be a great winner. But if he loses, he will be okay with how he lost. It doesn't matter where he goes first or last, but he was okay with his story. And I went out first. I'm pissed that I went out first. It still, like, I still cry to Audrey still to this day about it. Like, you set me up. Like, shit, what the fuck? But at the end of the day, I'm happy with my story. Like, I feel like I'm my own piece in Sequester. Like, straight up. Like, nobody can play Jay West as a character. I played twice. I found 2 LOSs 2 seasons in a row. I didn't get voted out 2 seasons in a row. I called out people left and right. That's just me. And I'm not faking it. I'm really happy the way I played. I just got to get to the end now. I really got to play to win. Like, just silence is survival. Straight up. And it's for me. For me, not for everybody.
Let's
For
be
me.
honest. You do also enjoy the battling, don't you?
Yeah,
Like
I'm a competitor. I'm like, hear me out. Like a little background about Jay West. I was a volunteer fireman for 7 years. I played basketball and football my whole life. I'm a competitor. I love to compete. In my fire academy, I graduated 6 out of 67 people. Like I just love to. I was I was a FedEx driver, and I look at every Wednesday. I used to send my group chat to my Sequester season 3 chat. I'm like, yo, it's Survivor Wednesday. Every Wednesday, I'm not eating lunch. I'm not taking a lunch break. I'm just trying to be the first truck back to the office. I look at everything, like I said, as a challenge. Like that's just me. I just love to compete, and sometimes
did you do all of them afterwards? Did you
Excuse
like
me?
go out? Did you do all of the battle backs matches afterwards? Did you go back and like
Some
Katie did yours or?
Yeah, some battle max we were able to play with like afterwards, you know what I mean? But some they just like, recycle or they put in a U-Haul, they gotta pack up because like it's time consuming. That's why I love
Yeah.
because they know for a fact like these challenges can't be like no endurance. Everyone always say, how come like the battle back can't be like no endurance to like who won it the most? You know what I mean? Obviously we'll be up there for 3 fucking days, but it like they don't have the time for that. You know what I mean? It's so fast that they need to get it over with.
Yeah, that would have been cool though.
Hell yeah.
I do think that like, there were some very passionate people there in the jury. I think you and Katie would have definitely battled the hell out of that. And Shireen and Rachel too, but I mean the two of you are fire, right? I
Katie got
the two of you in an endurance would have been amazing.
Straight up.
Yeah,
So
I mean, your passion shows like I'm like and it's magnetic. Like I'm like, man, now I need to find a game. Like maybe for lunch I eat like 10 sandwiches to compete. But it is like that's the thing about Sequester that's so fun is like it is fans, but it's people that love game. Like we eat it up, and it's so fun to see people just get that opportunity to play the game that and obviously it didn't go exactly what you wanted, but you still are like, hey, I know what I did, but I also like I did what I wanted to do, in certain moments, right? It's fun. It's fun to,
it's like what we said. It's that experience, right? Like some people want to travel, or some people like the ocean and scuba diving, and like those are good things too. But gaming is like that too. It's an experience, and especially when you can do it for an audience, when you know the stakes are high, when you know that people put in the production value that we've been seeing, like that takes something and it really that you love and takes it to a whole new level. I'm so glad we got to see you, and you kind of, I love it. When you came back, we were all like, perfect casting choice to come back. And I said it before, come back for season 5. We'll be there.
I gotta eat some more humble pie. I gotta talk shit all season, like you know what I mean. I just gotta like. Trust me, if I can say whatever the fuck I want now, but if Audrey give me that call, I'm back in game mode. Y'all know that. But it's just for me, man. Like I already like fake made a contract. I'm like, look, I can't go back alone. Like whatever the fuck you do, just bring back someone else, anybody else with me. You know what I mean? Obviously, that wasn't my reason why I went, but it was just like I feel like anybody else that's going to play in the future, they won't get the experience that I did. Mind you, I went out first, and I felt like I was a great welcoming to everyone that made jury. I was checked out, bro. To be like, not to call you Susie, bro. I'm just like looking at it. I mean, but anyway, I'm like, I was.
I also say bro when I get in game mode.
Yeah, I apologize, but anyway, like I was checked out. Like I was like once I lost, I was like defeated, and then Natalie, or I don't know if you guys are going to put all this future anyway, but once Natalie ended up getting out and had to battle Katie, she had to battle Katie, and me and fucking I was so happy. I was so happy when Natalie had to pick Katie, and I was like, yes, because that was the girl that fucking just got me in exile, so that woke me up. It brought me up so much energy. So then me and Katie got close, and that was the thing. I'm like, yo.
Yeah. Was there a great moment? Was there a great moment from jury that you missed out? Like we didn't see, because we don't get to see jury as much as I want to. Is there one moment so far in the game that stands out to you with you guys?
For sure, 1,000%. So many stories. So for one, for me, Brent just came to jury, and Katie are in jury. They're both great podcasters, and I love Sequester. And it's just like a live podcast every ceremony, like with them too. They're just like talking about the game and what happens at the ceremony. I'm like, yeah, I'm like eating it all up. But honestly, man, it's the games that I played with Katie because we spent the most together, and she just loved to, I don't know what the word is right now. It's like mimic or act like someone. Like she always like the Jacob thing. She's like, Muna, you want to talk about reputations, Muna? Like, and then I'm scared. That's all Katie would randomly say. We'll be asleep. She would wake up like, Muna. I'm like, shut up, Katie.
I'm gonna have to make her do that in our interview.
Yeah, she would do it. She's fucking out there. Like she burnt out. I love that girl to death. Like my voice. Like I swear to God, when I'm a passionate dude. I love to speak and I love to be out there, and I'm an extrovert. That's just me. Katie came. She was like I said, I tell her, thank her all the time. Like you are my voice. I got food because of you. Like because I didn't even care. They was like, hey Wes, you hungry? I'm like, no. I want to wait till battle back.
Jay West. Don't forget about Jay
Bro,
West.
that's what she was saying. She was like literally, she was like, hey, we had pizza. Did you get pizza? We're like, get Jay West some pizza. She always like, it's Team Jay West. So that's why I love Katie like to the max. And she was down with me. Like neither one of us got back in. We practiced so many battle back challenges because like I'm a fan of the game. I watched season 2. And we practiced season 2 battle back, like the circle. We had strategies for that. We practiced mines for season 3. Like, that was my like girl. And then when Muna came, we had a falling out in the game. Like I said, like I these are 2 girls that I was going after, and now I got to sleep with. You know what I mean? So I was like, yo, you know what? I respect the game. Like y'all fighting. Like that's shit I would do. That's y'all doing some J West shit. So you know what? Like obviously, I'm gonna give the LOS to Muna, but strictly for that because like like I spent time with her. But if it wasn't Muna, I was giving it. I tell it everybody that to this day. I would have gave it to Spencer because yeah, fuck that. That was look from the jury standpoint, right? Hear me out. I'm watching just like y'all. What's going to happen? And it's get boring seeing Spencer get voted out every time. I don't know what's going on in the house. Like y'all, like now in the fandom, we get to watch how he is as a player. But in the house, he was my roommate. And that was my boy. And I was going to give him safety, but I screwed him and ended up giving Shireen safety. Felt like I owed him. And from watching from the jury standpoint, I don't know what's going on in the house, but I just keep seeing Spencer as getting voted out. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like, I'm looking at I looked at like Spencer needs some help. Like, but obviously I got close to Muna, and that was my girl. And I'm just like, whoever get back out of us 3, like, I was giving the LOS to. I know Shireen and Rachel were in there with me, but I just like they just got there in my eyes. So it's like I'm happy to make jury this season. Last season I didn't make jury, and we just had to watch the fucking ceremony through the phone, like basically, and then we all had our rap party because I was pre-jury. But this season it was just like everyone makes jury, so it's just a blessing because it was a pandemic. It's still a pandemic, and we all had to play this game together. So it was great. We all had to make it to the, So it was a great experience.
Did that change your gameplay at all? Like knowing that you're already in jury, like did it change anything, or were you like, did you not really like you were like that's cool, but I'm still playing to win. Like I'm still,
Yeah, see me, I never care for jury because I never made jury, right? And I always play to win. I look at it, the jury aspect of the game. It's great for longevity. Like if you're playing for longevity, like if your family's watching, you want your family to see you on the TV for a long period of time. Great, play for jury. But for me, I'm gonna be crazy, disrespectful. Your family might not like me, but once the game is over, or once we both lose, or once we both win, because if I go, I'm gonna paint a big ass target on your back. Maybe you're gonna go, whatever the case may be, but you're gonna end up liking me. If not, then that's just cycle of life. Everyone don't like each other. That's for real. Like, you know what I mean? So you have to understand that reality TV show games are a reflection of the real world, and you have to remember that. Just because we're voting together doesn't mean we're friends, or just because we're living together for the game doesn't mean we got to be friends. But sometimes like bitter votes happen. Sometimes so many different things in this game is like happens in the real world. So that's how I love reality TV shows type games like this, because you have to be smart on who you went out early. You know what I mean? Who you want to sit next to, shit like that. So that's why I'm looking at the jury aspect of the game now because it's just like I'm somebody that loves to speak, right? I love to have control, but by me being a jury, first I get everyone's story. I get to hear everyone's story, and then they looking at me, they're crying on my shoulders, and it's just like I get to hear what's true. I still don't know what's false, but it's so many things on who names I get to hear. You know what I mean? So like I love being strategic. I literally play chess with Spencer every night. I've never beat his ass, but I'm a strategic guy, and that's why I like now like silence. Like me losing Sequester was probably the like first boot. Let me say that me being first boot, and I had to spend a whole day by myself in that room. It felt like solitary confinement. It really help me out now, like Jay West now, Jordan West now, whatever, because I have to remember like just chill, yo, just like because I don't have to prove nothing to too many people. You know what I mean? A lot of people that know me know I can finesse whoever I want. Like that's just me. Like I got the gift of gab. I feel like, but honestly, man, like I don't like to lose. So if I ever get the opportunity to play it again, I'm blowing somebody's game up before I get out. If it's like that, like I'm lying to whoever beat me in the thing or whatever the case, because I gotta get to that end, man. Seriously.
Well, I do think that we would like to see you back for sure.
Right, that would be funny as hell. Like, right, that would be so funny. Maybe
I say that, but now that you
maybe she's.
I'm like, I know Jay West. If I go in there, he's gonna blow me up.
It's just gonna be a Sequester staple. Like everyone's just like, yeah. So Jay West is gonna be on the season. We just already know. Like,
but that's the thing. But that. See, you see, by me being the only one that comes, now it's always gonna be like, Jay West played before, so I could always be a one up on somebody, right? Or if I'm not, it's like, look at it like this. I suck at comps. Save me for when you think you're gonna lose, right? And I'm your guy.
Well, I think that, I don't think an all-star could happen without you, to be honest. Obviously, so I think we'll see. I think we'll for sure see you back.
I'm like, I can say this now. If I ever play again, I don't want to jinx anything, but if I ever play again, I'm way more smarter, stronger now. Like when I played season 4, I don't know if y'all knew, but I was like fresh off of a sprained ankle. I was still able to compete and do all the challenges, but I was still like hesitant because I never sprained my ankle a day in my life. So I was just still like, cautious and scared at like looking at people as a threat physically because I couldn't do those anymore. Like looking at Brent and Spencer's challenge, I would have did shitty at that because I couldn't even stand on one leg for a long period of time at the time and being in the house. So, but now I can I feel I've been doing physical therapy. I'm super straight. Like I've been reading a lot more since I've been in the jury, and now I still order books to this day. So I just feel like I'm ready to be a different player, and I'm still gonna be myself. Like I'm still fear people because I got that reputation that I don't care, and I really don't care. You know what I mean? Because y'all know that I know that 2,500 isn't gonna change my life. So I'm a still play to win because I want to be a winner so bad. I want to be in the winner circle with you two. I really, really, really want to win. But at the end of the day, it's about getting there first, right? And that's the hardest part. That's like the hardest part of this game, and that's why I love it because it's a challenge, and I love to compete. I love the challenge.
Well, then I still kind of hope to see you on Survivor too. I'm gonna be honest.
That's the dream. That's the big game. That's where you're gonna see Jay West with the boring edit, the Purple Kelly edit. Because I can't go nowhere. That's the $1 million life changer game right there. That's you're gonna see me like Tyson. I'm gonna be chilling, and then that game. If I win, life changer. I sponsor Sequester a couple seasons. Whatever. But honestly, man, that's for real. That's what I would love to play. Playing this game it's an opportunity for anybody to play any other game because it's so underground. Not anymore because it's blowing up, but you get to rub shoulders with a lot of these players that you actually watch on TV. Like I had the opportunity to, before the pandemic hit, to go to the Winners at War party that Wendell hosted, and I went to like 4 of his parties because he just was friendly inviting me, and I live right there. And every time I went, it was so many other seasons, and I was chilling with them in VIP. Strictly, I was starstruck. I'm really a happy dude. I love Survivor, and they see me from Sequester, and it's just mind blowing. I'm like, oh shit, oh yeah, you watched me call somebody a rat bitch ass before, like, I forgot about that, but yeah, so I don't know. It's a great feeling, but I know by rubbing shoulders with them players, I know I can. I'm thinking in my head like I'm playing their ass right now. You know, it's just I'm just doing what I got to do to get. You know how it is.
No, I definitely get it. Well, I think that's all of our questions. Do you have any last things that you wish that we had asked or thoughts on the season?
I do want to. I know we talked a lot, and I don't know how y'all gonna edit it, but anyway, I want to say this, and I want people to like ask me this more, and because this season that I played, season 4, it was a big diversity, and I was very comfortable in the house, and I never felt like that in season 3. I was nervous both seasons, right, coming into the house, strictly because like season 3, it was like 3 people of color or 4, but anyway, and it was just like none of us knew each other. We didn't have any pre-existing relationships for season 3, and it was like everyone was nervous, right? For season 4, everyone might have been nervous, but everyone had a pre-existing relationship. And on top of that, I wasn't super scared that I was the outcast, but I was happy because I felt comfortable to say things to people that I wouldn't say, no offense to like, the Caucasian community, but like, I just like felt that comfortable. But then I had to remember that, oh shit, they could be playing me, so, but it's just a different comfortability. Like, you know what I mean? So it really helped playing with like an even split diverse cast because it just made me feel welcome. I know if I would have played as an only returnee, with like, say, if I was the only returnee, the first returnee ever to play on season 3, and I really wouldn't have felt, I would have felt out of place. And you know what I mean? It just, I don't know. That's just how I feel. I felt like I still lost the game because of me. Katie did great by fighting. I love that girl to death. I will never throw dirt on her name, but it's just me. I lost my game 2 seasons in a row. So maybe I will win again. You know what I mean? Maybe. So or one of y'all got to vote me out. I got to see one of y'all in the house because I ain't getting voted out. Shit, I even played Sequester Mini and I ain't get voted out. So I never got voted.
Third time's the charm, Jay West.
That's what they say, man. Shit, spell Sequester like SEQWEST. Sequester.